Hey everybody, so I'm in a stop sign, waiting on school traffic to come because I'm running late. But I really wanted to hop on here and discuss some things. I don't think this angle is best. But anyways, I'm not going to be looking fully at the camera all the time. Happy Friday, or whatever day you watch this. This morning, and I guess lately, something that has been on my heart is when you have prayed and prayed and prayed and you still have not seen it. And this morning I was reminded, now before I go into this, we know that Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. I'm drawing with my other hand. But we know that He does not change. And you may think, yeah, sure, I've heard that. Okay, but I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been sick before? Yeah, we could probably all answer to that, yes. I don't know anyone who is on this earth who has not ever been sick before. Or had some sort of issue in that nature. If you have not ever been sick, or, when I say sick, that does not mean you have to go to the doctor. That does not mean that you had a need to, you don't agree with doctors or whatever. If you have been sick and you have went to the doctor, got a shot, or if you have even used essential oils, or whatever the nature of that is, however you helped yourself become whole again, you had to rely on Him. And you say, no, I relied on doctors and medicine. Okay, well, yeah, but He created the doctor who had the brain to think up of these crazy, wild medicine names and gave the doctor knowledge to prescribe that to you so you could get better. So the Lord still heals today. So we know He is the same as He was back in Bible days as He is today, because He healed you and He healed back then. Okay, so we got that clear. So we know He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Now, going back to Mary and Martha. I don't even know if I brought that up, but that's where I was going. And then I think, whoops, girl. Anyways, I realize I'm doing that a lot as I get older. Anyways, Mary and Martha. We can all look at them. We have all probably heard about their story. They prayed, they prayed, they prayed. No answer. They called out to God. No answer. And when God answers, or when God shows up, Lazarus is dead 4 days, and he has already got a stench about him. But in the Bible, it says that God did this so that others might see and believe. Yes, it was something that Mary and Martha had to go through. And in that process, Mary and Martha went through, but they got to the other side. They went through that season, but they made it to the other side. They went through those days of wondering, God, I thought you were our best friend. I thought you were who we could rely on. I thought you were going to make a way. Where have you been? And today, you may be thinking now, God, my daughter, my son, my family member, finances, I don't know, whatever the case is, you may be thinking, God, you did it before. You said you would come. You've always been faithful, so we knew you would come. Because Mary and Martha had faith enough to reach out to Jesus. They knew Jesus was probably busy. They had faith enough to reach out to Jesus to ask him for that help. But it didn't happen when they thought it should have happened. And so, as this is happening, Jesus has had them wait this long. Because honestly, let's just say, if you would have prayed for something, let's say if I prayed, okay, I want to pray for, something that you pray for. Let's say for the person who is lonely, they're probably praying for someone. Okay, now if God would have brought you someone right when you thought he should have, would he yellow light? Oh, I felt like I could have read it. So are you getting to join me on my ride to work? No. If the Lord had done it when you thought you should have had it, would you be where you are today in a relationship with him? And different circumstances or circumstances can be different. But what I'm saying is today, that waiting not only was to show those around who God really is, who Jesus really is, and what he can really do, and how he is still able even when it's not on our time schedule, but it also was for Mary and Martha. Yeah, their brother got healed, okay, that's great, but it was to encourage and increase their faith as they waited. So today I want to encourage you, whatever season of life you are in, whether you're waiting on something or someone to come in, it may look like it is dead and decaying. It may look like the Lord has been, like we've cried out to you. I cried out to you 10 years ago, God. Where are you? He's never late. Many times I think we should probably look at what is the Lord doing in the middle? What is he doing in the wait? Who am I becoming in the wait? Who am I becoming in the middle, in the struggle? Who am I becoming and what am I becoming? Am I coming closer to him and drawing near to him during this season of maybe sometimes discouragement, maybe sometimes doubt, maybe sometimes disbelief? Am I drawing closer and closer to him? Or am I getting bitter and angry and hateful and frustrated? What is the case? What am I becoming in wait? Because it was not only about Lazarus raising from the dead. It was about Mary and Martha in their becoming who they really knew Jesus was. They knew Jesus could heal, but when he didn't come, doubt and disbelief, probably swamped them. If you're just being honest, let's just be straightforward. If something doesn't happen and you have cried and cried and cried, you can't tell me there's no way that the enemy has not tried in some form or fashion to put disbelief and doubt If he hasn't, girl, you need to let me know. Because I think that is just something, we're human. We're not perfect. We're not God. The enemy will attack, especially in the last days. But that doesn't mean God isn't working. That doesn't mean God is not there. That does not mean that God does not deliver. That does not mean that God does not heal. So today I just want to encourage you that if you are going through something, like I said earlier, I think I was trying to end this earlier and I did. If you are dealing with disbelief and doubt, ask God to remove that. Ask God to remove anything that would be hindering from you receiving what you're praying for. Ask Him to mold and shape you while you're waiting on that prodigal to come in, or you're waiting on that finance to happen. Whatever the case may be. No, it is about what you face and what you go through. And it is about that person or that lost soul coming in, or that miracle happening. But it's also about what He's doing in you and what He's doing in me during the middle. I'm not the same person by Jesus Christ that I once was because of my waiting. When I started out, when my wait started, and I don't know if you could ever say like, oh, my wait started then, or whatever, but like when I started waiting, I felt like I was the girl in the doctor's office in a chair, and I'm picking my chair up, slamming it to the floor. Help me, I want to get out of here. I want to be done. I don't like waiting. I have discovered in my life that I am either, I feel like in some forms, I have two speeds. It's either full force, it's fast, or it's slow. It's either white or it's black. Ain't in between, no gray. We either going or we not. So today, just know that yes, He will bring that promise to pass. He will do what He said He will do. He is faithful to His word. I am running behind. He is faithful to His word. He's faithful to His promise. He's not a God who would lie. Not a man who would lie. Sorry, I think I get that wrong when I say that. He's not a man that would lie. And I am coming up to a red light, so I hope you guys all have a fabulous Friday, or whatever day you watch this, rest of your week. But just know that it's also about who Jesus is making you into, and shaping and molding you into in this process. But know that even when your promise is stinking and it's dead and stinking, that Jesus is the one who gives life. And if He said it, He will fulfill it. Okay, bye guys!